Hello. Sorry, I just realized I did not plug in my mic like an intelligent person. So for this video, I didn't really know what to do until Wednesday, and usually that's fine. And then I redrew with the drawing you're seeing in the background like 8 times on 2 different canvases, which the canvas I'm not showing is the bulk of it because I ended up not using that idea, or I used part of the idea. Not all of it, because it ended up becoming a ginormous trash bag for me. And so I decided I was going to try to redesign my redesigns of Yandere Simulator characters because, you know how we're going back to 2016, and that was a thing. Not that specifically, but Yandere Simulator sure as shit was. I'm old. So we're having a throwback Saturday, and we are redesigning Yandere Simulator characters. I got the first 2. I meant to do 3. Yanagi gave me hell. Because originally I was just going to do basically kind of like a reskin of an idea I had about a vampire character, my vampire character Mara. And so I drew that, and I was like, I don't know, this doesn't really fit the vibe. She looks like, I don't know, she looks too alternative, like dark alternative to be a blank slate like that. And then I remembered I redesigned Yandere Simulator recently enough where I would probably still like the designs. And I did. And so now Yanagi Takahashi is a vampire. And I changed the uniform to have a pattern and be long sleeve. It also gives her a reason to have those really long gloves. I think she had a sun allergy before, but in this one she's just a vampire. That's why she wears gloves. Yanchan, oh god, Yanagi gave me hell. Because originally I was just gonna do basically kind of like a reskin of an idea I had about a vampire character, my vampire character Mara. And so I drew that, and I was like, I don't know, this doesn't really fit the vibe. She looks like, I don't know, she looks too alternative, like dark alternative to be a blank slate like that. And then I remembered I redesigned Yandere Simulator recently enough to where I would probably still like the designs. And I did. And so now Yanagi Takahashi is a vampire. And I changed the uniform to have a pattern and to be long sleeve. It also gives her a reason to have those really long gloves. I think she had a sun allergy before, but in this one she's just a vampire. That's why she wears gloves. And the thigh highs also because they're fun. Another thing is I went back and forth on aging them up. I'm thinking that because college students don't really wear uniforms, but half of the fun of Yandere Simulator is, at least for their designs, in my opinion, is the uniform, because I just like uniforms. I don't know, with a big giant cast of characters, like it's just fun to have a uniform. So I wasn't really sure. I'm still not, but I'm leaning more towards it being like a really fancy college. I thought about while I was drawing the second drawing to make it a all women's college, because I've heard that some Japanese women colleges still have uniforms. It's just they're not always mandatory. And I was like, that could work. And then I was like, I can't make everything about women and lesbians. This is gonna I mean I can, but there's things that I know I'll be made fun of for the century, and that's probably one of them. Onto the actual drawing. So I don't know. I'll figure it out though. When I design Senpai, that is when we will find out if it's gonna be an all-girl school or not. I just finger gun to the camera, even though. Sometimes I wish I had a model with hand tracking so you could see me do the very Italian hand gestures I do as I talk, because I do the hand thing very like, just like if I'm like talking, I'm like waving my hands around my face, and I'm also doing the spicy Mamma Mia thing. But that's also because at work I had to make like 50 pizzas. Mamma mia, pizza pie. Okay. I was singing that to myself while sprinkling on Parmesan. Okay, on to the actual drawing. I am so sorry. So, for this I altered the uniform. I also gave the uniform a pattern because I feel like the first uniform, I like the button-up thingy bodysuit thing. I just hate the fact that it's kind of just a blank slate. There's no patterning on it. And I saw that I had a red blue going on. And I had a red blue going on in the design. The first canvas I made that we're not going to talk about. And it was like red, blue, and white. And then I realized it was America. And so I still kept the red, blue, and white, but I toned down the red like a lot, just in the tie and in some of the plaid of the little dress button-up thing. Instead of it, I'm gonna move my little thing I'm watching the art on. Oh god, no, move sticky note. So instead of Yes, so now it looks like I'm actually looking at the drawing. That's neat. Okay, so instead of that, I decided to do a red plaid on there. And then I'm gonna give them all their own special little shoes. I'm gonna draw them with their outside shoes, because I know you change shoes and you have a shoe locker, which is wild to me. Well, it's because it's an amazing idea, but I never would have thought of doing that. I remember almost slipping and eating shit every day in high school, right by the doors when it was raining. I feel like we could have prevented some of it. Because you'd walk and you'd be like, okay, so the wet's over. And then, woo! And you'd be like almost on your ass because fucking Billy was wearing like basically gacho pants and the water just kept going beyond the mat. Yeah, that's other than that rant. They're called gacho pants, right? Or the ones with the really wide legs. They were starting to go back into fashion when I was leaving high school. About, give or take. So I don't know. I don't know if they still call them, or not still. I'm sounding a lot older than I am. If they do call them that, yes. Or if that is, they use a different term now. But yeah, for that. Like I said, the plaid, I went around with different types of white, and originally I was going to do a yellow off-white, but her skin tone is basically a yellow off-white because I changed it because she was a vampire. I tried to make her look similar to Mara. If you're a long-time viewer, you know who she is. So I gave her the, like, brown-black hair and the gray skin. I made her lighter, on the skin so she looks more convincingly a person. I also gave her heavy blush because I would imagine, in my mind at least, she probably wears a lot of like sunscreen, like foundation sunscreen to cover up the fact that she has really gray skin on her face and neck, and she like over blushes herself so she looks alive instead of dead like a vampire. But instead everyone just thinks she's just crazy with the blush. I gave her a bow and a single ponytail. I usually make her have two. Every time I've redesigned Ayano, I have made her have pigtails, but there's something calling in me to do a ponytail, so I just made it really long and like so it can like whip around. And I made the bow look like a like in her silhouette it would look like devil horns, and I really like that. I also tried to give her a more triangle shaped body type so she looks more intimidating. I just couldn't. My style isn't super cartoony, so I couldn't dramatize it. And so I was like going through trying to see if I could make it dramatic or not, because she's supposed to be very fit, freakishly fit. In my mind, whoever I make senpai, she actually sees him. Maybe like he's on like summer vacation or something, and she is running, like she's outside doing her outside run because she runs outside because she, in my mind, she's just fit like that. She's just weird. I don't know. Or it's like sunrise, so maybe she wakes up before the sun comes out because it feels better as a vampire. I haven't thought that far. All I know is she's running like super early in the morning, and she sees this person drinking coffee at a coffee shop, and it completely, like, she like smells them or she senses them or something, and she is completely hypnotized by this person. I don't know if it's gonna be their blood type is really delicious, because I don't want to get accused of Twilight, because I didn't know that was the plot in Twilight until I was told this when I was trying to explain this to somebody, and they were like, Mia, that's Twilight. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not Twilight. No, I don't read books, so I wouldn't have. I mean, I do. I just don't read those type of books. Not saying there's anything wrong with those type of books. It's just, I just don't. That's no offense to anyone. I just couldn't do it. I could not do it as a person, or as a dragon, sit through however many books Twilight is. And then like they have a weird baby that grows to an adult in 7 years, and I'm like, I'm okay with not dealing, nope. But maybe something like that. I don't want the love or the crush to be, or like the reason why she's after this person to be real, because I think it kind of sends in my opinion, it sends a bad message to people, especially because I was in middle school at the time of this coming out, and I got verbally abused multiple times because I was dating someone that they liked by multiple people. And I know that's normal, but to the extent it was, this person was also a super big fan of Yandere Simulator. We were actually friends because of that. I'm not gonna lie, with how much she knew about it and how much I knew about it, I was scared. I was a little scared. So I don't want it to be shown as true love. I want it to be shown as more of like a serial killer, kind of like a incarnal, you know, like a instinctual thing, not like a, I'm so cute, I'm gonna stab somebody. Because if the people I knew were a little more crazy back then, I would have been stabbed. Maybe. I have to think about that a little bit more. I could have been stabbed. But so I don't want to send that message to like fucking middle schoolers to stab people if this was a game. Or like a show. So something like that, where it's not like real love. Like she's like after this person for a more like sinister purpose. Either they have a stronger blood type, or they're another vampire, or something. It's not right. Basically, her like wanting this person is not right. And I also gave her a heart backpack because she's cute core themed, and I don't really have very much other to say about her other than that's basically her whole stick is she's just not normal. She dresses very cute, but she has a very scary face. She doesn't seem like she does a lot of exercise, or she doesn't really, but she's freakishly fit. Like shit like that. Like she's off, like kind of like Astrid in the last video, because that's what I imagine vampires are. They're off. I also like to imagine that maybe she's one of Mara's like distant cousins, if you remember who Mara is, because that was going somewhere. So I made them look similar. Other than she is like, they're like way far apart from each other, because she's like fully Japanese and Mara is something in Eastern Europe, because it starts off at in my mind, her story starts off at an all-girls Catholic school. If you remember that, she's basically a vampire, and it's like a hitman. In my mind, it's like a hitman game, but you're a vampire. But yeah. So other than that, I am done talking about Yanagi Takahashi. I did Yanagi because if you haven't watched that old video, which a lot of you are new, Yanagi, I did that so that she could still be called Yan-chan without using Yandere-chan, because no one would call her Yandere-chan if they didn't know that she wasn't a freak, and if they knew she was a freak, they'd be wary of her, hence half of the stealth is already gone. Oh, I'm sorry, you can tell I have ADHD. Another thing is she sees this person drinking the coffee, and then she immediately stalks them, finds their school, and fills out a transfer, even though she's a senior in high school. She'd be in college. In my mind, in this brain, it was high school. Maybe she started stalking them in high school. I don't know. Stalking takes a lot of like building up. No. It should be that, I don't know, first semester of college, she already signed up for one college, but then she tries to transfer to another one to follow this person. The second drawing. I am so sorry. I'm gonna have to I don't know. This video is gonna be me mostly talking about one thing while the other thing is going on in the background. This character, I did not get to shade her, so she's an unshaded, but I wanted to show her because she is really, 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 really cute to me. I really like her design. But this is my redesign of Osana. Najimi? Osana means Najimi means Google translates to best friend. I am changing that. I am not sorry. I made it Himari because it's a very popular Japanese name. It means sunflower. She is a redhead. I know that's not the same. It just was close enough for me to go you know what? If someone was looking at their kid and their kid came out the hair color she was, and they were in Japan, they'd either name her Sunshine or Sunflower or something, because I'd imagine she had lighter hair when she was a baby. And so she is named Sunflower, Sunshine, whatever. That's her name. And then Saito, again, just a popular surname. I'm not going to go into the depths of Japanese naming conventions because I don't even know that. I just know that the names in Yandere Simulator are pretty fucking bad. Onto the actual design. I gave her the same uniform. I gave her these rain boots and a rain jacket and these little bug socks and a bug container, and her zipper on her rain jacket is a bug fidget toy. and she has little pink scrunchies. So I also gave her a haircut and puffed out her hair and made it more curly because I thought it gave her more of a sun vibe. And then her pigtails, the way they come out, I tried to make them look not like horns but look like moth antennae. I think antennae is right. To make them look more like antennae. I'm doing that to my head and you can't. I'm just dumb. So so these antennas, they're supposed to look like antennas. Every single rival is a leader of a group or a club, except for I think Osana and the little sister one, which is fucking weird. I don't even want to. Oh, and the faculty, which is also again fucking weird and will be being changed to literally anything else. No, bad, very bad. But she is the leader of the entomology club. I play a lot of cozy games. I love cozy games with fishing and bug catching, like a lot. Like, the game could be super boring and suck, but if there's an ability for me to catch a fucking fish, I have played it. I will play it. It's on my to play list. Same thing with bug catching. I don't know I have autism. But this character also probably has autism now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so she's the leader of this club. She, like I said, she likes bugs. She is the next door neighbor to the senpai character. She's in a couple grades below him. They in my mind, because the way this works is usually instead of like it's just the girl across the street you're friends with or the kid across the street, it's usually all the kids on your street end up becoming friends when you're like growing up like that. So I'd have to keep in design, or not design necessarily, but I'd have to think about the other friends they would have since childhood, because I'd imagine they're part of a little friend group. And the reason Yanagi notices is because Himari is sitting right next to the senpai character and it is constantly talking to them and is like, na 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 na, oh my gosh, you're so funny, ha ha ha, like, you know, blushing and being like way too obvious. But the senpai character is about as oblivious as a mirror, a shiny rock. No, that's shiny. Oblivious, just very oblivious. And they're like, yeah. And she gets upset with this. But I also want to think that the entomology club would be a pain in the ass if you were playing this game and it was a similar style of game, because her and her club would be walking around the school campus catching bugs, and you're a vampire. So regardless of you, like, you have to kill this one person, but to stay alive, you need to kill other people. You need to figure out how you're gonna eat. Now, this can, in my mind, you might be able to have like a more humane choice, not humane, like better choice, by like doing what Asterion was forced to do and like eating rats and shit, to not kill humans. But this game is about being a serial killer, so you were gonna probably eat people, and that's gonna be a pain in the ass, like a severe one, because they're probably gonna like be walking around catching bugs, taking pictures of bugs, I don't know, sitting around enjoying bugs, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass for you. So you, on top of her being too close to the senpai character, I would also imagine that on top of that, her club is a pain in your ass as a vampire, and so your best bet is to feed successfully and happily is to get rid of the leader of this club in the hope that it would disband. It wouldn't. They would just stop wandering as much after their club leader goes missing after wandering. At least that's what I think. A new leader, whatever. That is my idea for this character. I love her. I want to draw her with that stupid pouty face, just like as like a scene, like her like looking at like a bee, and the bee is mad and she's mad at the bee, and they're like having their angry time together. I know that's not how bees work, but in my mind that's how the bee works, and that's how she is. I hope I gave off the fact that she really likes bugs like strongly enough. I think I went crazy, but also it's amazing. Those bug thigh highs I would own personally, and I think that's great. So I'm gonna cut this video off because it's gotten way too long. I'm sorry. I ended up yapping for a lot longer than I should have. Thank you guys so much for watching if you did. If you watched it all the way to the end and you're new, consider doing a like and subscribe. If you want to watch more of me do this series, I'm going to try, maybe not February, but I'm going to knock all of these out by hopefully March. I want to do all of them, because if I'm going to do a proper 2016 throwback, there's one thing I'm going to do that will make 2016 Miwo freak out, which is finish a project. Which is something that's damn near impossible for me to do. So we are finishing this redesign series. I'm finishing this project. Every video is going to be this, even if it does poorly, because God, I'm finishing this. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share, promote, whatever. Yeah. And I will see you guys in the next one, which will be part 2, because I'm finishing this. Bye-bye.